Black Lives Matter activist turned mayor in Georgia. He's accused of using $26,000 for unauthorized purchases, including a trip to Africa. Yeah. What's up with Africa? We got mayor of LA going to Africa. Got this guy. Hey, needed to go. Economic development. Let's get into it. Here we go.
That's right, Tom and Christine. Would you believe it's 11 o'clock at night and City Council is still talking about the mayor's expenditures? Well, City Councilwoman Helen Willis says the mayor spent tens of thousands of dollars and is yet to account for it.
Sound familiar?
And the council was totally blindsided. We didn't know that had occurred.
Councilwoman Helen Willis charges Mayor Khalid Kamal bought items with his city-issued purchase card. She says the mayor, who goes by the name Mayor Khalid, has yet to justify those expenses to her liking. Did the mayor spend $26,000 in a short period of time on his city card?
Within the last fourth quarter of 2024, it was approximately $26,000, correct?
Willis says in one case, Mayor Khalid last year took a trip to Africa. Are these expenditures authorized?
According to our purchase policy and our traveling policy, no.
Dozens of residents packed City Hall. Some wanted answers. Willis says city policy dictates city officials must produce receipts within 72 hours after making purchases with the card.
And there is 112 receipts that have not been recommended.
112 receipts. 112. That's a lot of spending, right?
Submitted.
Did the mayor violate city policy?
Yes. Some of the city, yes, policy has been violated.
Look like the mayor may have used it for personal expenses.
Well, I think there's some things that I'm seeing in the public.
Councilman Mayor Pro Tem J.C. Sebastian says Mayor Khalid has some explaining to do.
But there's some things that I see in the public that need some explanation.
I do not believe that it has been determined to be unauthorized.
Councilwoman Linda Pritchett says she asked the mayor to address the matter with the public.
Not at this time. It has not been determined that that has taken place.
We asked the mayor twice for his side of the story, but twice he ignored us. Now, right now, there are no policies on international travel, but the card cannot be used for personal expenses. Councilwoman Willis says they're going to look into this, and other council members say they're going to look into this and see if the mayor violated city policy.
Okay. We'll wait with bated breath as to that happening or not happening. See, the reason I bring stories like this up, I want you to recognize that a lot of the Tiffany Henyard stuff, it's not nearly as bad as what's going on here, right? Guy spends $26K and he's got it's on a card and he spent it in Africa. Africa, what are you doing there? Well, let's get into it. Let's read this. Georgia mayor who boasts being the county's first Black Lives Matter organizer. How's that working out? Elected to office is facing scrutiny for using 20 grand of public funds for international travel and other questionable purchases, according to reports. South Fulton Mayor Khalid Kamal was accused this week of using a city-issued purchase card in December for authorized spending on a trip to Africa, food, and other expenses that totaled around $26,000. How long was he gone for? Was he not being mayor? What was he doing? What did he buy there? I can't imagine needing to spend $26K, but he managed to. Right? It's a pretty large amount of unauthorized charges, Councilwoman Helen Willis. And you heard the people from the city council. They are literally they are trying to convince themselves and others that, I don't know if it's been determined yet that it's illegal spending. We don't really know that for sure. You got a bunch of receipts from Africa, and this guy took his card and put it on his card. At least be smart about it. Use somebody else's card. What about that? I don't know. What's that guy doing? What's that guy doing? Know what I mean? Just what were you thinking? Right? Carnell, whatever his name is, he's denied wrongdoing. He documented an extended trip to Ghana last month on social media. Oh, perfect. He documented it on social media. You did it for the gram. That's amazing. How was that? How's that working out for you? And the detective is like, all right, so let's see. Instagram account. Okay, yeah. Duly noted. Oh, you went to that. Okay, duly noted. Oh, hey now. Oh, okay, you're making this easy for me. Showing on video at a party and also attending a concert in the country's capital. It's kind of like Karen Bass, supposed to be dealing with a fire in Los Angeles, and she's in Ghana. Even though she said she wasn't going to go and do international trips. It's kind of like, now it was legal. It was just stupid, but it was legal. City Council in Oregon, Multnomah County, I think it was, they took a trip to Portugal to see how Portugal deals with the whole illegal drug use issue. Where Portugal, they've got a whole system of getting people into treatment, getting them into jobs, and all this stuff. Portland, not so much. But they needed to go all the way to Portugal, from Portland, Oregon, to just see what the ruckus was all about, right? Plane tickets worth more than $5,000, a $1,300 drone, and various Amazon purchases were among the myriad of items purchased, according to documents. Remember, Tiffany Henyard had purchases of $44,000, I believe, but those could have been her assistants making those purchases on her behalf or somebody else's behalf. And depending on what those items were, we don't know. FBI's working on it, though. Mayor Lori Lightfoot, former Mayor Lori Lightfoot, she's working on that as well. Willis reported claimed that there are 112 receipts. Supposed to have those receipts in with explanations within 72 hours. What did this guy think would happen? When they ask you for those receipts, what are you going to say? I don't know. Somebody got a hold of my card and ran it up. I don't know. I don't really know. Well, Willis said it appears so when asked if the mayor made unsanctioned purchases. Another colleague in the city council said that I need more information before drawing any conclusions. Was there a company-sanctioned trip to Africa? Because if there wasn't, it's pretty clear-cut to me. And if this guy took his card and those charges are on the card and they say Africa, then, yeah, what other conclusion can you make? Well, Sean, at this point in time, we don't know positively whether it was him or not. At this time, it's not been determined that that has taken place, meaning he spent money that he shouldn't have. I would like to see the mayor have the opportunity to address the issue transparently. Guys, I really wanted to go to Africa, and you gave me that card, and I knew that I had to report what my charges were for. But I was just dying to go to Africa, so I spent some money. I mean, a little bit more. I only thought I was going to use a couple of grand to get there and back, but lo and behold, international trips are expensive, and my airfare alone was $5,000. I had to take, my 3 children and the wife and the ex-wife and the side piece. I mean, first-class tickets for all those folks. That is not cheap. There is no city policy on international travel, but the card can't be used for personal items or services. The spokesperson. I wanted to find out if taxpayers paid for this trip. Resident somebody told WSB TV. We should not be asked to go without something so that our elected officials can travel all over the globe. They weren't traveling all over the globe. They just went to Africa from Georgia. Yeah. The mayor, first elected in the city council in 2017, claimed to TV the criticism is a smear campaign. I love that. It's a smear campaign and it's racist. I mean, this is terrible. This is just racism out of its worst. If I was white, nobody would be questioning me if I went to Africa and spent $26,000 on a international trip not authorized by the council. No, I gotta be brutally honest with you. If somebody finds out about that and you don't have a reasonable explanation, doesn't matter what color your skin is, and people are going to go, you know what? That money could have been spent on, say, anything else within the community, and it would have been better spent than you traipsing around in Africa. Mayor Ked also briefly addressed the Scrutiny Friday evening, saying his staff is working on publishing the receipts so the public can see the paperwork for themselves. I'm dying to see it. I would love to see it. He said on Instagram live video, the international travel was tied to boost economic development opportunities. Oh, we got to go to Africa to figure out what economic opportunities are in Georgia. Okay. Really? That's a tough sell. That's a tough sell. Was there some talk about this trip to Africa in one of the meetings? Did you guys talk about it? Did you have a vote on, hey, let's send Junior here to Africa and see what he finds out? No. No, that's just utter nonsense. We all realize we have not been using the purchase card or travel policy the way that they're outlined in the policy because the policy is just unworkable. He said in reference to talking with other city officials, it was written to trick people up and not get things done. So you mean like taking a $26,000 trip to Africa, trip people up on things like that? Well, yes, that in fact is probably true. You're not supposed to do that. So, the card, you spent $26K on it. I'd say it worked pretty good, maybe a little too good, right? And there's just nobody saying, hey, system of checks and balances. Kamal also described himself as an elected activist who's been involved in civic engagement for years, including helping organize the Atlanta chapter of the Black Lives Matter movement. All right. So here's another thing I kind of want to check in on here real quick. Got this little bit going on here.
Apologize for the negative attention this has brought to our city.
So you're guilty of the charges?
This is the mayor. This is burglary charges a couple of years ago.
I just wanted to see the house. I do apologize to the owners. I thought it was a day.
I just wanted to see the house. I apologize to the owners. I thought it was vacant, but I was, I was helping them with the big screen TV move from one area of the home to another. I don't know what he was doing there. I'm totally making that up. But this just sounds like some nonsense, doesn't it? Some nonsense. Like I was going to do, some economic development research in Africa and I bought a drone. Who doesn't want to? Hey, if I'm going to Africa, I'm taking a drone. Although, can you fly just willy-nilly there? I don't really know. Trip to Ghana, drone flight, South Fulton Mayor made $26,000. All right, here's a little bit more breakdown on what the guy bought. $1,300 drone, Amazon, with one purchase totaling more than $1,800. Yeah. According to the city's P-card policy, employees are required to obtain written authorization from the purchasing director and city manager. Willis says the mayor did not do that for these purchases. Red flag. Policy also indicates individual meals and beverages not associated with approved travel and electronics are prohibited purchases. We have an approval form that we submit to the city manager for her to approve. I'm going to say that lunch at a really cool restaurant overlooking the water, overlooking the ocean in Africa, not approved. Here we go. Smear campaign again. It's really a smear campaign. You will see in the meetings, the people who are talking the most are running for mayor in 2025. Well, that's because them pointing out that you're in office and that you went to Africa on the city's dime. It's not a good look for you. That's why they're pointing that out, because they're going to take advantage of the fact that you've pulled some shenanigans and you've been caught. And that makes people think maybe this isn't the guy that we want for mayor down the road. And you know what? I would have to agree with them and go with, if those facts are true, they're probably not wrong. All right. That's all I got on this one. Stay tuned though. I mean, we've got super mayor Tiffany Henyard in Dalton, Thornton Township. We have got Mayor Karen Bass facing a recall effort in Los Angeles over her absolute debacle handling of the fires in Los Angeles. I was in Ghana. Then we've got Governor Gavin Newsom facing a possible recall campaign. I don't think anything will happen there. And then we've also got the recent indictment of Mayor Sheng Tao, former Mayor Sheng Tao of Oakland, who got recalled. She was out of there. And then the Fed said, you're busted and your boyfriend is busted. We've got you on corruption charges. Whole lot of corruption going on. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe, do all the good stuff, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.